Hello, we live? We are live. Okay, hello, welcome. And thank you for joining me today. While my microphone was muted. But thank you so much for joining today. So today is how to easily track every transaction in 3 simple steps without ever leaving money on the table. So thank you for joining me today. If you are a business owner or if you have a coaching business, and we already know that sales equals income. Because without your sales, you have no income. Without any income, you actually have no business. So it's really important to make sure that you are not leaving money on the table. I speak really passionate about this because it really irritates me. Because I see so many business owners and coaches that, yes, they do all this hard work to help all these people, but they still don't pluck up the courage to then ask for money for their service, and they leave so much money on the table, then actually they end up broke. Because I'll be honest, because let me ask you, how many of you have coaching businesses, or if you want to be a coach, just put coach into the chat. Because if you are one of those types of people, you better make sure that you have a sustainable business. Because if it's unsustainable, there'll be a lot of stress. And when there's a lot of stress, guess what? It will then affect your performance to coach the people that you want to serve. So please, please, please make sure you write notes about this live, because it's one thing that changed my life. How many years ago when we started our first business? It was in 2010. 2010. And the thing is that when we were starting this business, I left so much money on the table, that it was in the 6 figures. And when it was into the 6 figures, I was thinking, why has this happened? And I don't want to keep bleeding money. And I cannot stress this enough that, yes, some of you may not be good with numbers. I certainly wasn't good with numbers. I hated doing all these transactions. I hated, taking money, card machine and all of that. But the thing is that I realized I had to create a system so that I would not leave that money on the table. Because let's be honest here. If you deliver a service and then you forget to take money, or you're too afraid to ask for money, 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, the longer you leave it and then you ask for the money, ain't going to give it you. Right? You need to ask straight away. The sooner you ask, the sooner you will get paid. So this is the first step. Make sure you know how to value yourself. Because if you are not valuing yourself, right, you're undercharging. Because let's be real here. Wherever you are in life, whatever you're coaching, you have a skill that helps people. And that has a value. Yes, you cannot overcharge. You cannot ultimately undercharge, because your time has a value too. Because this is what happens when people are not actually looking after their money. Firstly, they pay everyone else apart from themselves. They end up broke. When they become broke, there's more pressure on the relationships. When the pressure in the relationship gets worse, guess what? This is what ends up in terms of fights at home with their partners, with their children, because they can't even bring food or the things that they thought they would deserve onto the table for food, or even things that they wanted in life. Finally, is that what happens that when they're not actually getting that income, right? They're on this conveyor belt of trading time, not even getting money. And when that happens, they burn out. And when they burn out, depression, anxiety, they lose control. Their life is in chaos. I do not want that to be you, because I see it all the time. I see it every single day with athletes, with high-performing athletes, that they have a setback and then suddenly they just give up. And they think, why did I even bother doing that? And this is why I want you to make sure you are robust enough, just so that you keep going to do what's right, but then also having the things that actually you deserve from it, which is being paid right, which is actually getting the things that you truly desire in your life. Because you've already spent the time, the money, the resources, the energy to get to where you are. And I speak passionately about this because I value your time. Every one of your times. Because I know your bank of time, you are withdrawing time you cannot pay back into that bank of time. Time is running out. And I want you to make sure that you respect your own time. And that's why I want to give you these 3 steps to make sure that you are not leaving money on the table. First thing is this, of course. Number 1, make sure you know your value. You must know your value. If you do not know your value, then you need to put a number on your time, right? If you don't put a number on your time, you might as well work for free, which is actually worse than a job, by the way. You're volunteering, right? So make sure you put a number to your time, whatever it is per hour, whatever it is per day, whatever it is per week, wherever it is per year. But generally, I would say value your time per hour. As soon as you know what your time is per hour, then you know how big or how much you can earn per year, right? So value your time first. Figure out that number, because once you have that number, you can then realize, like a thumbs up came up. Once you got that number, then you realize how much you can actually charge for your courses, all right? Your live trainings, your video courses, you then know because you just add up the numbers. You add up the numbers. This is my son here, and he wants to join me, and he wants to give you a thumbs up. Maybe you don't mind, but it's okay. Let me just quickly teach you though. You can say hi, Gabriel, in the chat if you want to say hello to him. But the thing is that he knows that I speak very passionately about this because I do everything. I value my time so I can give it and make sure he has an incredible future, right? So please, please, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your loved ones. Okay, put your hand down now, thank you. All right, do it for your loved ones, because this famous saying in psychology, there's a lot of people that do more for their loved ones than they want to do for themselves. So focus on that. Value your time so you can serve at a deeper level. Okay, step number 2. Once you've valued your time, make sure you have a system to get that money quickly. The easiest system is this. Get people, your customers, to prepay before you deliver. Then you already have money in the bank. That will not upset your cash flow, because cash flow is king for every business. If you do not look after your cash flow, there's a high chance that you may then go bust. Please, please, please make sure that you are looking after your cash flow. So take money up front, deliver, right? And then ask them if you're on the next session, take money up front again. That is the best way to serve you well, but also to give the expectation to your customer that yes, this is where they are, this is where the coach is, you're going to bring them both together, and then actually you then deliver exactly what they need. So make sure you have the cash flow by charging up front. So that's the second thing. If you're not charging up front, you better make sure you charge straight away after you deliver, because this is where people run. And you don't want to attract those types of people, by the way. Make sure you're attracting the right people into your coaching business or whatever business you have. Attract the right people. And by the way, the right people are the people who will pay up front. That's why I just think about it. If you ever been on an educational course, if you ever go to university, guess what they ask you for? Pay up front. If you go on a personal development course, guess what I ask for? Pay up front, right? So I actually don't even know where this this pattern of people paying later came from, because it's the worst business decision people could make. Make sure it's paid up front, right? So that you know that everything is dealt with. Number 3 now. So I'm hoping this is actually being really clear with you in terms of what you need. So get your value, get clients or customers to pay early or upfront. And the second thing is that if you want to make sure that you're not leaving money on the table, give them the next step. And so many people forget this. If you do not give them the next step, guess what the answer is? No. You finish, the relationship finishes. So if you give them the next step, right, you don't know if they want the next step or whatever it is. You don't know if, actually, they might have loved what you've delivered. If you don't give them the next step, guess what? They go elsewhere. If you give them the next step, then they have an opportunity to buy the next thing. But if you don't ask them that, guess what? You leave money on the table. Too many people are too afraid to ask, because they think, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be, the person that feels really salesy. No, you just ask them, right? You've achieved so much in this session or this program that we've done. Because you achieved so much, do you think you're the finished product? And most people say no. Would you like to improve yourself to get to the next level? Yeah. Would it be okay if I share with you what the next thing is? Okay, great. So this is the next thing. And you tell them all the benefits and what the things it is. They usually say, if you want the next level, is this something you're interested in? Yes, great. Okay, if you want that, when do you want to start? This date, great. This is how much it is. Make a payment. Off you go. Then you've taken that money off the table, and now you've served them because that's what they want. You've served your family, your friends. You've served yourself because now you respect yourself. So make sure you do that. That is step 3. Make sure you offer the next thing. Yes, I get it. Some people will say no. Yes, one of the greatest things we hate as humans is rejection. Don't be afraid of rejection, because all of us, we get rejected every day anyway. It's just the question is whether we take it personally or not. So please, 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 to serve the greater good, at least ask the question whether you can help them if they want the next step. If they don't want the next step, that's okay as well. Say, thank you so much. Is there any feedback I can get from you? Feedback will help you grow as a coach. It'll help you grow in terms of what you do. And also, it'll help you in terms of if your business is sustainable and actually if it can scale as well. So I really hope that this has been helpful for you. I know you can hear my passion in it because you know, it happened to me. I left far too much money on the table, and now then when I look at my son here, I look at it and I think, if I didn't leave that 100 grand there, his life would be better now. But that's because I didn't value me. I didn't see him. I didn't see the foresight of what the future looked like. So I want every one of you to see the future of what it is for you, for your family, but also the people you want to serve in the future too. So thank you so much for checking in with me today. Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, whoever else is there actually. Thank you for your engagement today. But thank you for your energy. And what I can ask you to do is just don't make my mistake and do those 3 steps. Once you do those 3 steps, it will at least, you're going in the right direction to value yourself, but also to help more people as well. So thank you so much for being with me today. Have a wonderful Friday, rest of your Friday and the weekend. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Bye for now. Gabriel, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, and also thumbs up.
There you go. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.